Saturn and Ketu were co-joined in Sagittarius, and they are actually been in conjunction from March 2019. Now you will see that the Saturn and Ketu are going a little degrees apart. They were completely enmeshed with each other, and now they start going apart. But it actually says, now Saturn is a planet of karma, of patience and perseverance, and now while it is transiting Sagittarius, it gives a lot of impetus to individuals to start manifesting and doing things for themselves. And now when Ketu is there, it actually kept showing the realistic picture. Like Rahu throws illusions, Ketu is much more realistic. And it says that this conjunction of Ketu and Saturn actually triggered many significant developments in the lives of people who are very acutely aware of what is happening in and around them. So basically I can say that Saturn, Ketu and the Jupiter conjunction changes a person's life completely. With Jupiter direct, with Saturn direct, then with Saturn enmeshed with Ketu, but now it is disengaging itself from the enmeshment that it was, and the more it disengages, the more realities strike you, and the more you will feel invigorated and you will feel empowered to manifest all that you had put into structure, all that you had put into, you had streamlined your life, and with great perseverance and with great patience and with your hard work, you will see the results or the efforts of your hard work now coming into tangible forms. You will be well rewarded for all the efforts that you have put in. So you may inculcate. Now what are the things that will happen into you? It will be courage, determination and ambition. At the same time, you will develop faith, devotion and a philosophical approach towards life. So again, I will just remind you that one part of you will be completely courageous, determined and ambitious, combined with your faith, devotion and a very philosophical attitude towards life. It will also make you optimistic even in the hard time. So even if you are trying to overcome some obstacles, you will always have a plus point to it, thinking that if these things hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been what I am. So the courage, the determination and your resilience is combined with your faith, your devotion and a philosophical attitude, and even in the hard times you will actually wear on an attitude which says, just let me do it and just let me be a winner. Until and unless I do it, I cannot prove my winnings. This is the kind of a philosophical resilience you'll have, or I would say the determination that you will have, and you will be ambitious to carve an identity for yourself. And the more the Ketu goes away, the more resilience, the more courage, the more firmness and the more belief in yourself will you develop. So the other changes that you may witness in your life due to this going apart would be that your fame is set to increase. This is just a tip of an iceberg. Then you will get more creative. There'll be so many ideas that will come, the realistic ideas that actually, if germinated, can grow up into a very fruitful tree. Then you will turn more inward looking, because you will tend to be philosophical, you will be introspective, and you will know what are the pluses and the minuses of your life, or what are the positives and the negatives. You may also develop a very spiritual philosophical look. Now spirituality, the definition of spirituality is what I had in my earlier videos spoken about, the definition of God. So similarly, spiritual, each one to its own. And nobody is going to tell you what are your positives and negatives. You will have that reality of thoughts, or you will take a reality check of your own strengths and weaknesses. Then you will also believe in giving back to the society. Whosoever it is, 100% I can say, every individual would like to do something for the benefit of the others, or would like to behave in such a way that will not harm the people around him. So it's not necessary always in giving back to the society. I would also be saying what Gandhiji had said, be the change that you want to see in the society. So you would be walking the talk that you want to do. You will be actually leading by example. Now, relationships may also take on a new meaning. Suddenly you will realize that the grandeur that you felt about the relationship, or the expectations that you had about relationships, the realistic part of it will start. You will appreciate the relationships for what they are. You will appreciate your family. You will appreciate your society. You will appreciate your friends. You will also appreciate the good points in your partners. Rather than always looking into the negative, we will see that these good points are what us helping us to bind together or be together. And sometimes, in most cases, it could also be that a known devil is better than an unknown angel. So that's how the relationships get more prominence. Then you will also be required to shape your destiny if you know it. And knowing your destiny, what is your destiny, what are your potentials, how you can shape your destiny is definitely done through the natal charts or through even sometimes your yearly charts. So it's like a calling. So once an individual comes to know what is the calling for himself as an individual, which he can impart to the world, or what are the lessons he's come in this life to learn, and how best he can be of use to others, you can again relate back to your natal charts, and then you could interpret the philosophy of life in your own unique way. So in other words, I would say that this is the time is the best for the spiritual inner growth. You may read a number of books and interpret them in the way you feel inclined towards. I mean, we all have a different perceptions of the same truth. So your truth could actually be your truth, and you could live your truth the way it gives you peace and happiness. So your interpretation could actually be looking from a different angle, looking from a different point of view. And when you discuss it or you present it, you will realize that the other people also start looking from a... So it's every individual has his unique way of interpretation, and the way, like it was written in Bhagavad Gita also, that soul is always present. It never dies, it just changes clothes in different incarnations. So the thoughts also, if you see, they always present themselves according to the viability of the situation. So what I may be thinking 2-3 years back could be very different on what I'm thinking now, because the circumstances change. So as this Saturn and Ketu is going afar, you will see your perceptions, your resilience, your courage, your faith, your philosophy of life, or your own truths is what you come face to face with.